Okay, welcome everyone. Uh, let's see as we get set up. So, if you are already watching, there, just getting myself organized, and it just takes a little bit of time with the internet here. Okay, and first, my disclaimer today is August 4th, 2021. I'm Marianne Carduner with unboundedandfree.com. I'm not a medical doctor or therapist. I don't diagnose, prescribe, prescribe or heal. I can scan your frequency and energy patterning and tell you what I see, and you should consult a doctor or therapist for professional advice. All content is copyright protected, and you may not use this content in any way, shape, or form without my written permission. Okay, and while we wait, just kind of get into a comfortable position as I am. And let yourself connect with your environment. So, to connect with your environment, first, let's focus in on the body. So, allow yourself to become really aware of your body. And if you want, you can close your eyes or you can keep them open, doesn't matter. If we close our eyes, we have a tendency to kind of become aware at the physical level, but sometimes we can also get distracted closing our eyes and get shifted out into another reality. So it doesn't really matter, but pick one and notice. So if you notice yourself shifting into the objects around you and getting pulled out of your body, or if you close your eyes and you start kind of thinking about all sorts of things or going off in different tangents, same thing. Focus on your body. Kind of get a sense of that clear boundary, which is your skin, and being inside of that. So focusing on the breath can help. Noticing the breath coming in or out. Noticing the sound of the breath coming in. The feeling of the air in the lungs. And then on the exhale. Hey, Catherine. So I'm just starting off very simply here, just really coming into the physical body. So I'm not sure exactly when you jumped in, since my eyes are closed. So, and really becoming aware. So all around, you may find that you have certain areas of your body that are not as present. Hey, Diana, welcome. So just take a deep breath in, settle in, become aware of your body and your physical environment, and just kind of scan through it. Just kind of run through it. Top to bottom, bottom to top, doesn't matter. But notice some areas that maybe you don't feel as present. And it could be anywhere. It could be in the front, it could be on the back, it could be in the middle, top to bottom. So we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that in a minute. And let's really focus right now on just that skin level and become really aware of your skin and go through your whole body. You know, like notice the skin on your face. Notice your scalp. And like with things like when you notice your face on your skin, you might become aware of the shape, because it's not a flat surface, you know that, but feeling that shape. You may notice the eyebrows. That's different than skin, but then you become aware of even the follicles, the hair follicles. And same with the scalp. So the scalp, because unless you're bald and have your hair follicles are no longer active, even if you shave your head, you still have active hair follicles, and you know, putting your awareness on your scalp, becoming very aware of that, of those follicles. You know, so you might actually feel it, and the feeling can be either physical or it can be non-physical feeling. But you have a sense of it. You may have an image pop up in your mind, and that's fine too. That's a way for that information to come through. I tend to have a sense of things and see them, sometimes hear them, depending on what they are. Yeah, please help me ground. I just saw that. You're right, you're in the right place. That's exactly what we're doing. So very good. You showed up for the right thing. Feel the skin on your neck. Feel that shape of the neck as really defined, contained by the skin. Everybody's neck is different, looks different, has a different shape. What's the shape of your neck? So let yourself become really aware of that. And again, you can do that with your eyes open, your eyes closed. It's good to practice with your eyes open too. It brings in a different set of information. But it's good to practice because you can do this with your eyes open even while you're driving. It's not gonna, putting your awareness on something is not gonna distract you so much that you're driving off the road, you know. You get into this place where you can be aware of, like, let's say your neck, but also very aware of your what you're doing at the same time. It's sort of this almost this hyper awareness. Then become aware of the top of your shoulders. And let those shoulders kind of relax. Notice if there's tension, and then between the neck and the shoulders, that's a very common place to have a lot of tension or some. And coming down the arms. All the way to the fingertips. And just kind of adding those pieces as you go down. So we've got the head, the neck, the shoulders, the arms. Adding in the torso to all that, the upper torso, if you want to do just half the torso. Notice the front. And then notice the back also. Notice the difference between the two. They're different shapes. You know, some people have this tendency to go like that because they're always like this, or they're working, or always pulled in, or pulling in because there's a lot of tension in the heart. So the back's going to be more curved, and the front more concave, or convex and concave. And I mean, if you want to straighten your arms, it's like, oh, okay. It makes you kind of straighten your arms because you realize how you're sitting, and that's fine. Or just Breathe into that, bring your awareness into that. Then coming into the lower abdomen. And if you notice the front side of your abdomen more than your back side, then come in more to the back. See if you can really come into the back and still be aware of the front at the same time. So if you can become aware of the front side and the back side, then you become aware of the space between the two. It's not an empty space. It's your body in there between the two. And Catherine, I'm really noticing that you're kind of there's a part of you that's kind of, I want to say squeamish might not be the right word, but gets a little fidgety about coming more deeply into your body. So if you notice that fidgety, or and this is for any of us, when you notice that fidgety, just notice it and then just come back to bringing your awareness more into your body. So it's sort of like a fishing line, the fish is hooked in and the line is going like this, but so you notice the line as your hand is going like this, but you also have your eye on the fish, you know. So both are happening at the same time until that fish finally releases, or that fidgetiness kind of like, okay, I can take a deep breath into the lower abdomen. And then slowly release it. That gets your mind focused on something when you kind of slowly release your breath. Holding the breath also. And then again, slowly releasing. Yeah. And okay, Diana, let's see, what do we need to, eh, you're showing up like you're kind of hiding. So it's not like you're hiding. It's like I see you, but there's a way that okay, it's like you darken your energy so that you're less perceivable, as opposed to being a big bright light that shines out that everybody's going to notice. So just kind of become aware of maybe how you maybe don't want to be noticed too much by people. BG, is that who is BG? Is that Bernadette? I'm thinking BG. I'm not sure if that's Bernadette or somebody else, but hi. Good, thanks for joining us. Um, so notice, do you hold yourself back to kind of keep from getting attention? Brenda. Okay, hi, Brenda. Um, yeah, you're just showing up as BG, which is fine. So, hi, Brenda. Welcome. We're just kind of really getting into our bodies and connecting in. So Diana, so that piece about just yeah, so now now that I've said that, you've kind of shifted a little bit. So that's an interesting thing because I didn't have my attention on you. Why am I hiding? I think you know that. I think you know why. Um, that's a childhood habit for you. Um, but it's interesting because it's like I wasn't directing my attention on you at all, and you're just kind of pulled back. It's like, I don't want to be noticed. But as soon as I notice you, it's like, okay, see me, see me. So that's a little bit that's basically bottom line to that is that it's external referencing, having to be validated by an external source to allow yourself to be seen. So, we all have that. So you're bringing this up, but it's something that we all have in different ways or different levels. We just do it differently. So come into and notice yourself. So bringing your awareness to your body is actually one way to notice yourself, and it's important that we notice ourselves and notice our body. So that's the kind of a level one. So just breathe into your body and just even say to yourself, okay, this is my body. I see you. You can even say, Diana, I see you. Or you can say, I see myself. I see my hands. Even if it's with your internal eyes, internal vision, and just breathing into that. So everybody can do this too. Just noticing. And so if you were there at the beginning, okay, so you were putting your awareness, we were putting our awareness different through the body. We got as far as the whole torso. But now kind of just say to yourself, okay, I see, I feel, I'm notice, I'm aware of me, of my head, of my neck. I'm aware of my arms. I'm aware of my torso. And see what that does. That might bring up a little bit of a part that is afraid to be seen, cares a lot of judgment around being seen, for example, or some other things. Might bring up a feeling of more volume, more light in that sense of your body. And part of the reason I have people do things like, well, you say this to yourself, because at the level of the psyche, of the subconscious, there's it's about rewiring that part, because that part is in this kind of habit. You can call it the pain body too if you want. Some ways it connects up to it with that. But there's this patterning in the psyche. It's always used to seeing things a certain way. And so by saying something as simple, I see myself, I'm aware of my hands, I'm aware of my body, at the same time of being aware of your body, having your awareness of your body will help to reprogram that psyche. Okay, because the psyche kind of acts as a filter through which you see your life, through which your spirit is acting. Your spirit has to go through those layers. And while we have those layers, if we're trying to be seen and we have that layer of in the psyche going, yeah, I'm not going to let myself be seen, unless I'm acknowledged by somebody outside of me. The spirit, no matter what it tries to do, that's always going to kind of go through that and present life to you that way. It's like I can be aware of myself. We don't need to, ultimately, we don't need to have somebody else see us to be seen. We have to see ourselves. So that's a really good one. So thank you. Thank you for that one. That's a really important piece for us all to work on. Now take a deep breath in and notice how your physical body feels now. So as far as we've gotten. Maybe feels more full, a little brighter, even a little lighter. Okay. For me in particular, a weak spot for me is my backside. And now it's brighter back there. As I see, it's brighter. It's more present. It's like it feels more alive back there. It feels more balanced with the front half. Feels real. Oh, good. Yes, absolutely. Hey, you are real. Good. That's really good. That's really good. Yes. Now let's go into the legs. So lower abdomen into the legs and feel the legs. I'm sitting cross-legged, so however you're sitting, or if you have your feet on the floor, or if you're standing, just notice from whatever you're sitting on, from your butt all the way down, from the hips kind of all the way down. Really become aware of your legs. Are they buzzing, or are they just kind of like, just kind of there? You know, sometimes when I get movement of energy or frequencies, depending on what level we're focusing in on, you know, when that starts to pull through, it's like there can be a buzzing there. And simply bringing your awareness there brings more aliveness into that area. So really feel those legs. And you know, there's a lot of volume in the legs, and the thighs especially. And notice, you know, there's the bones. There's a lot of density in those bones too. Good density. Density that we need. That's what gravity does to us, is help make those bones more solid. Gives them more density. You know, that's a big problem with astronauts who spend too much time on space. That's why they have to do a lot of like exercise and have those weights to keep the bones densified when they're out in space. So let your mind just take a deep breath in, hold it, and then as you breathe out, let your awareness drop down even more into the legs. Okay, you're still coming up, Catherine, as being not not comfortable with that. Irritated this time. Okay, Brenda, let me take a look at you. You got a lot of density around your body that doesn't need to be there. So really come in, so I kind of missed this part at the beginning, but come in and notice your skin. And really just skin surface. Brenda, I'm going to bring you back up into your torso because I see there's a lot of density around your upper body here, your torso. So just kind of go over your skin. And if you want to, you know, if you want to have contact surface, like close your eyes and put like your hand on your arm or your other hand and feel where your hand is. Feel your skin and just move on the arms. Notice the chest. Do that also if you need to really help bring a sense of the skin. And sometimes I've even had, you know, just taken my shirt and just pulled it to really kind of feel that contact in the back, or go against the chair if you're sitting on a chair or couch. So one of the things that does is that helps to separate out what is not you from what is you. The clearest reference we have with what is me, what is not me, is our physical bodies, and the skin level being that distinct boundary. And it might feel like we pull in when we put our awareness on the physical body and on the layer. And sometimes when we're like kind of diffused, that happens to me, kind of like, and I kind of really let myself come into the present moment, present awareness. It's like coming, everything pulling in. Okay, Catherine, I have to ask, were you fidgety when you were a little kid? There's something there, and it's interesting because it's not showing up so much as you, but it's sort of like a little persona, a little so some little aspect of you that it's just kind of like having a hard time sitting still. Um, some of that can come from abuse patterning, where it's really hard to sit still. I can certainly have seen that myself. With abuse patterning and having a hard time sitting still. Uh, yes. uh, so sitting still because you're always when there's abuse patterning. So depending on the type of abuse and stuff, but it's sort of like I fidgeted. Yeah, these last 2 days. So yeah, getting back that explanation of the abuse patterning is that when we're in a an environment where there's abuse, and abuse could be just somebody just yelling, not even at us, but yelling, something that's not doesn't feel safe, then your mind is always kind of like looking, like constantly looking all around the place, your awareness subconsciously, even if you're not aware of just like, checking out everything that's going on around you all the time, just to because that is a way to try to figure out what's going to happen, and then you might know what to do and get out of the way kind of thing, as an example. So breathing into that. So you're starting to separate out from that because that last time it was sort of like this little persona, which means it's just this piece that's separating out. So that's good. So just let's all take another deep breath in, holding it at the top. See how long you can hold it for. And as you hold it, allow your awareness of your body to increase, and then release it out when you need to, when you're ready. Okay, I don't know if you have a sense of this, Brenda, but what I'm seeing is that there is there is some separation that's been created between physical you and then this denser layer. Let me know if that makes sense to you, if I need to explain more or guide you more with that. It goes into OCD or used to. Yes, right. That's basically OCD. Absolutely. Yeah, that makes complete sense. Yeah, so that's like a different kind of control pattern, but it's that same kind of energy and feel where it's like you got to make sure everything is absolutely lined up right. There's that movie Sleeping with the Enemy, old movie with God, I forget who's in that. Uh, but there's a point where she's just moving the cans around on the shelf, and she's left her. Um, I'll get to you in a minute, Brenda. I saw your comment. She's already left her. She's escaped. She's managed to escape very abusive, faking her death in the ocean, and she's putting the cans in the cupboard. All of a sudden, she starts shifting them, arranging them perfectly organized, da 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 da, because it's got same kind of energy of just like totally making sure. you're going to be safe. If everything is lined up, it's going to be safe. Julia Roberts, yeah, thanks. That's a, and then all of a sudden she clicks in, she realizes that, and she just messes them all up because she's no longer in that environment. But yeah, so good, Brenda. So feel lighter. Yeah, excellent. So it feels like what happens with you, Brenda, is you get a lot of people that at that non-physical level just kind of glom onto you, like, you know, kind of really come in too closely. And so what's important to you for you is to create more space for yourself, and right now that's a big challenge for all of us. Um, uh, because there's a lot that's going on, and the brighter we become, the more we come into ourselves, the brighter we become. And the brighter we become, the more other people, other spirits want to go like, this looks really good over here. It's shit where I am, because basically things are pretty crazy right now out there and are get crazier. So anybody who looks anything that's a bright light, it's like a moth to light. So it's important for all of us to come into that sense, okay, body definition. So let's take a nice deep breath in and come into our bodies. I'm a coach. That must be it, or the activity in my home. Yeah, the coach thing, definitely. Um, where people are just so that's all right. So that's important to create that space and that distinction for yourself. And so let's take a minute to do that because this will be good for all of us. So let's take a deep breath in. The activity in your home feels more like it's kind of all over the place, and so I think it's kind of connects up more to the coaching piece. Um, it's like at home, everybody's more familiar with you and where you're at, so it's more yeah, it feels more like it's coming from the coaching stuff. But if you're doing that with the coaching stuff, then you're doing that with your family, your relationships. End of story. I mean, it's we're never quite that distinct for the most part. It just might be showing up differently. So again, deep breath in as I catch up with you guys. When am I talking? Hold it. Come into your body as you release even more. Really become aware of that body. Become aware of your skin. Keep your awareness within your body, skin level. Then extend, so it's sort of like peripheral awareness, where you're really centered. It's like the source of your awareness is inside your body, and it does not leave your body. Like center of your head, if you want to get even more specific. But you become aware, just like peripheral awareness, vision of what's out there, and stretching that. So let's stretch everybody out until your arm's length out. Yeah, okay, got it. So yeah, everybody. Yeah, Diane, make sure that you're staying in. You're doing pretty well, but you're a little wobbly. So just kind of getting you to focus even more, a little bit more precisely on being inside, your awareness being inside, and then just kind of extending your periphery out, your peripheral awareness. Yeah, Catherine, you can work on this too a little bit more to create that. It's sort of like creating a buffer by doing that. So let's see. Okay. So center line, around that center line, there's the outline of your body. So staying in that center line. And from that center line, it's like you're looking straight ahead, you're noticing that tree to the right or to the left, you know, without looking at it, you're aware of that. So center line, your body centered on that. And your awareness out. Yes. Yeah, that's a good stretch for everybody here. So what I'm seeing that causing for your various environments is some of you start to get this angry reaction from something that's external to you. It's like, wait a minute, okay, Brenda, that's kind of coming up for you, but you're not the only ones. It's just coming up more precisely for you. So when you start to create that space, that distance, arm's length out, it started to get like something gets angry at you because it's like, well, you're not letting me come in close. It's like, I don't care. Your space is there's center line, there's your physical body, but there's your energetic field, your auric field, your as far as your arm's length out, your spirit body, all of those. So, and Catherine, we need to work on this for you too, because there's that separation is not coming through very clearly for you. So focus right now, Catherine, really focus on being aware of your body and that center line and your body, your skin. Okay, I was going to say something relative to what I started with Brenda. I've got to find that thread that just shifted out. Okay. So I'm going to say, personally, at this point, I don't care anymore if somebody's angry or not. They are not going to come into my space. Arms length out. I got to keep them out. And it's front, back, center, above, and below. I've come to make this distinction for myself. So for those who work with Moss, he says, okay, physical body. Yes, but then I've had to come into that piece, physical body, and then add on top of that. So not separate from, but on top of that boundary arm's length out from me. Because I'm very aware, I can be very aware of, somebody coming in here. Something, it's not necessarily somebody, something. People are top of my head too. It depends on, the clearer we get, the stronger we can hold our space, the less and less it will happen. And the more people will stay, that energy, those frequencies will stay arm's length out from us. And the weak point is wherever you start noticing. So that's good. So everybody, let's see. Okay, Catherine, I want to get you into a little higher level with that. There's the front side of you is right now, the tendency is right now to have that. It's like, and if you need to, take your hands and just feel like you're pushing something out. I've done that myself too. When we're not strong enough, just you start with whatever you can do, have a sense of that clear space for yourself. There's different things that come in. Part of it is your kid comes in the front side. But if he's coming in, so it's like there's that blending that happens, but then when he's not there, you've got to come back into that distinction of yourself, holding your space. And that happens because you have that, even with the blending, that will still hold with the overlapping, that will still hold because you're very clear, this is me, this is not me, It's like, okay, I know it's still blended in, but I know who's who, I know what's what. But yeah, everybody's doing really, really good with that. Okay, let's take another deep breath in. And so the space around everybody has opened up a lot more. So that feels much better. So that should feel a little with a little bit more breath, a little bit more room to breathe. Yeah, I think all of you except Catherine. I'd like to see it. I like to see it better, more extended out. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. The fidgetiness, kind of, there's a sense of that feeling coming from the stuff that's coming up in front of you there. So I know you've got that fierce energy in you. So just say, no, absolutely not. This is my space. Get out of here. Sometimes we have to assert that way because we're not holding strong enough. Okay. I feel pressure at the top of my head pushing down. Yeah, the top of the headpiece. So, uh, arm's length out, arm's length up above the head as well. So that's just indicating that there's a weak point of coming in through that part. My body feels hot. Yeah, that's my sense is that there's a shift that's happening. So that's sort of this alchemical thing that happens when we really come into our bodies, so we really connect with ourselves, and there's it's sort of like this burning off of old stuff. Um, so yeah, some people would call it hot flashes, but hot flashes are very different. And I think for the most part, my senses, from my experience and from what I've seen, is that hot flashes are really actually part of that burning off the old. So Brenda, yeah, might be detoxing today. Yeah, so just kind of keep pushing out in front of you, and even if you put your arms out, arm's length, to just resist. Might be detoxing. I don't care if it's detoxing though. Even if it's detoxing, there's something coming through that you're releasing, and it's like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to let go of me? So it's still like no. Um, so Brenda, yeah, just you can put your hand up on top of your head and then just push up, just to also give yourself the sense of that space. You can't see my hand here; I'm a little too high, but the space between the top of your head and the back of your hand as you push up. That's your space. So that just is indicating that it's almost like if you imagine yourself being in a bubble, and the bubble, instead of being centered on the bubble, your head is like kind of against the top of the bubble there. It's like, nope, no need to push in. This is my space. Out. So taking a nice deep breath in, coming into your breath, and feeling yourself centered in your body, and feeling yourself sitting centered in a bubble, arm's length out around you. Hey, Catherine, there's a piece that's kind of coming up with you. It's with this what you just said. It's sort of like um, wanting to just be done with the detoxing, and so when you start detoxing, it's like, "Okay, it's just releasing, I don't have to deal with it anymore." And so the problem is, okay, what is detoxing? There's distortions and there's detoxing. Distortions are patterning, energies and frequencies, patternings that are basically not us, that are kind of twisting our system around. Detoxing is the release of that. So there's a piece, it's almost like there's this piece that goes, it's like, well, I'm detoxing, I'm letting go. I don't and one, I don't wanna deal with this. God, I just wanna be done with that 'cause, when we go through a lot of detox, it's like, when am I gonna be done with this, you know? Um, but there's the piece in detoxing where it comes up and you see it and it's like, "No, I don't want this anymore." So that's the confirmation of, releasing that pattern and I'm gonna be done with it kinda thing. So that's important to get into, to just acknowledge. And it's like, okay, let's put this on automatic. As I'm detoxed, I'm releasing the stuff, I'm letting it go, kind of thing. There's something else going on because I'm seeing that and it's still not shifting. So it's gonna take a little bit more work. It's like um, I'm not getting into it too deeply here, but since it's kind of just a practice session kind of thing. But there is something that's just like kind of standing there and is determined to stay there. So you've got to be more than equally determined to have hold your space. So if it wants to stand out arm's length away from you, that's fine, but not any closer. Brenda, how's the top of your head feeling? It feels like you're working with that and you're kind of stretching there. And that's getting a little bit better, just kind of getting familiar with that. Okay, let's just kind of take a nice deep breath in. Coming into the breath. It's been a good work for with everybody. Everybody's been doing some good work here. So really come into being aware of your body, being aware of the breath. And let's just stay with that for a few moments. I am plus telling it to go away. Yeah, you know, so good. Good, Brenda. Okay, good work, everybody. That feels a lot better. So this has been the little workout session from coming into being. And this is a little bit, just a very light version of group healings that I do as well as individual sessions. So feel free to reach out to me if you're interested. There's kind of a group forming, so I will do a group session, and the group sessions are much more intensive in terms of the clearing. So less of the kind of the coaching trainer kind of thing. That I do here and more individual and also individual work with each person as well as within the group. So feel free to reach out to me for that. on the chat, or you can also go to my website, which is right up there, unboundedandfree.com, and they're called, well, there's the under services. You can find information there under services and get in touch with me via my website, or any way you know how to get in touch with me. So with on Facebook or whatever. So thank you all for coming. Let's just end with another nice deep breath in. Everybody feels a bit lighter, so that's good. That's what these sessions are for. And just kind of feel, let's become more aware of our bodies in our physical space again. Bringing that awareness. Notice the objects around you, the lighting, any sounds, whatever, and notice the distance between what you're noticing and your physical body. There we go. Thank you guys for showing up. And next one is in a couple weeks, first and third Wednesday of the month. So thank you all for stopping by, and enjoy the rest of your week.